Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from the dirt track here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see this big, beautiful half mile behind me. This is officially attempt number 3 on the weekend to try to get the races in. Thursday, we got through qualifying, canceled due to wind. Yesterday, we didn't even get started and we got canceled due to rain. I would say we have much better odds this evening. The wind is much calmer, blue sky, you know, it's warm enough. I think we're in for a good day of racing. So we got $25,000 on the line with high limit, and I'm just eager to get the 21 car out there. Our night is underway. We just got the 21 Tarlton Motorsports car all fired up for some engine heat, got everything all warm, and now we're going to be heading back on track for hot laps and then into qualifying. We're the first car out in Group B. We got 38 410 sprint cars, and this is where things get very important in sprint car racing, especially when you have a wing on top. Qualifying is everything. On a big racetrack like this later in the night, you know, once you get behind other cars, you have dirty air, and it's really nice to be out front. So if we can lay down a good time, we can really set ourselves up for the rest of the night, and we'll be climbing in now, like I said, right into hot laps and qualifying. Well, a good start to the night here at the Las Vegas dirt track. 38 total cars, and we were 7th quick in Flight B. Right where we were on Thursday, and we missed the front row starting spot of a heat race by that much. We just needed one more spot. We were looking really good, fast out of the gate, you know, being early in the group, but then there at the end, we just got bumped by a few fast cars. So now rolling into the heat race, we're gonna be starting 2nd row inside. The top 5 transfer to the A main event. The fastest car and the winner of the heat race will advance to the dash. So we have a shot here at the dash. We're obviously gonna need to move forward, get a good start. On these half miles, you know, cars spread out really quickly, so that's where the start is very key. More than anything, I feel great with my race car. Haven't got a chance to look over the lap times quite yet, but I think we were about 2/10 off of quick time. I mean, we're talking a game of this. I felt really, really good. 3 and 4, I made a ton of speed. If there's anywhere to nitpick, I feel like maybe 1 and 2 is where if I could get through the center better there and just drive off a little lower, a little straighter, like I could gain something. But anyway, happy with that. The Tarlton 21 feels very, very good, especially on a big racetrack. That's where your car's got to be money. So anyway, we're going to be moving into the heat race here soon. It's time to continue to do our job. Came down here to turns 1 and 2 to show you guys the racetrack after the heat race. You can see there's still actually a good amount of grip out here, a little bit on the bottom that still needs to be worked in, and then it's kind of patchy all the way to the middle. This place is so wide, man, and it doesn't race as wide as it is because it kind of flattens off and shelves off. But we started 3rd in our heat race, ended up finishing 4th. A lot of it all came down to the start. I just didn't fire off a turn 4 like I needed to. I could have done my job better. It was a little greasy on the bottom, and I was trying to really, keep my RPMs up. Here at Las Vegas, we're super high elevation, so the engines don't take off. They're kind of choked down, so you really got to be, gas and brake at the right time and just take off. And when you're in that second row, you're also timing the cars in front of you. So I actually was in 5th at one point and then rolled through the bottom here on this first corner, got back to 4th, and then, finished there. Overall, felt like we ran an okay heat race. Was a little tense those first couple laps. It's easy at these big racetracks as a driver to forget to breathe, and you literally don't breathe for a lap because you're so tense holding on to the wheel. So just need to calm down a little bit. It's easy to do in traffic, but overall keep working on our race car and just being better in traffic. That's what's tough at these half miles, because dirty air, it's a real thing. You can't put yourself in certain positions, otherwise you can get yourself in a lot of trouble quickly. But racing surface looks beautiful. Like I said, quite a bit of grip, but it is slicking it off. But if you walk down here on the bottom, you can feel that it's still slimy. So we got a little bit more room to work this way, a little bit more room to work that way. Thinking that, like I said, we're really in for a treat tonight for $25,000. So the A feature is up next. We're just about to climb in and then roll on out. I really feel like the racetrack is kind of starting to come into its own. It's widening back out. The bottom's got some grip, the top's got some grip. I think this could be a really interesting race as it goes through quite a bit of change. They haven't officially posted where we're gonna start, but we know we're kind of somewhere mid-pack, like maybe 13th to 16th, somewhere in there. So whether we're inside row, outside row, the game plan is the same. We gotta get a good start and carry a lot of speed into that first corner. When you're behind quite a few cars, it's easy to get really, really tight with the fuel load. So the main thing is to carry that speed, keep your car rotating, and if you can do that and have a good first corner, you can really advance forward. But you can see making the final changes here to the Tarlton 21. The team's been working hard. Glad that we got a race in here in Vegas and just want to make the most of this 25 laps coming up. Starting farther back, we got plenty of room to advance towards the top 10, and like I said, just really try to run a smart race, because 25 laps around a big racetrack like this is a long time. But anyway, we're going to be climbing in, heading out. So just as we were starting to kind of find our rhythm, move forward, and click off some laps here early on in the race, we started having tire issues. So as you can see, we had a swarm of guys from several teams jump in to help us change this flat right rear tire. We had plenty of time, so it's just important to get the car up in the air, get the jack underneath there, get it up, and then get one wheel off, other wheel on, get the wheel nut spacers in there, tighten down, then get the bleeder clicked in, get the mud cover on, and then get pushed back off so we can mount a charge to this field. So with this race taking longer than expected, they have called an emergency fuel stop as cars up front are starting to run out. This was a good opportunity for us to not only refuel, but we also have another right rear tire going flat.
There on Larson's car, he was doing a right rear bar adjustment, so probably trying to tighten him up a little bit, maybe in order to get some better grip on this thing. But
It has to be.
can you get it towards that cushion?
Right there.
You jump that cushion. It's very easy to pull the right front over the top of the racetrack.
Yeah, we see that a lot.
Five's all we need, Nate.
We saw Rico have trouble with it early on.
Oh, I see it.
He is slipping. Looks like crew members are making their
Tanner, warm the out of it. Hang out.
This race is going to be, you're not going to get to lap traffic. No, it's going to be a race to clean air. So, however, Corey Day, Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney fire up on this restart, I think it's going to be a race amongst those four guys.
Yeah, and I will say the track is in great shape as well.
Well, flat tires, guys, was the story of our night here in Vegas. We started 13th. Initial start wasn't great for us. Second start, because there was a yellow, went good. Started 13th. I think I was up to 10th. I passed 3 cars in the first couple laps and might have even been in 9th. I don't know. I was 9th or 10th. I was right behind, well, I got ahead of Brad. Then Brad got by me and I was kind of pacing behind him and Bacon. They were kind of making a little bit of time on me and I was just trying to start moving around to figure out like what my line was. I passed cars early on the bottom, but everyone was really bottled up. So I went to the top, went back to the bottom, felt really good kind of no matter where I went. Felt like was just finding my rhythm like every lap. All of a sudden I went into 3 and I heard boom and knew right away that my right rear tire literally exploded. Like it exploded. And I'm like, okay, well, we're almost, 6, 8, 10 laps into this thing. I knew my team was gonna want to put another one on, but I'm like, shoot, now we got a long road ahead of us. Went to the back, probably was 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and drove back up to 11th, and in the process got another flat. I could feel my tire going down again. So I don't know if there's just a ton of debris out there or what, but I mean, we patched it on the last red. They had a red for fuel. We tried to patch it. I went out there, spun my tires, kept some air, but this thing was leaning over so bad on the right rear. I was just praying that it didn't, come apart, because man, when you lose a right rear like I did, I was lucky that we didn't ball up this race car, but proud that we went from the back all the way almost to a top 10 finish, and then again, battling all the factors that we had. So proud of this team. Our car was really good. Just unfortunate we had to deal with those obstacles, because I think we could have had a really good finish. Well, to end today's show, I wanted to walk out here on the racing surface. Check out Vegas. I felt like it was in tip-top shape. Of course, I don't know what the racing was like at the very front, but I thought we had a surface where you could pass for a half mile. Half mile sometimes, single file out and whatnot, but the bottom was hard to hit down here. The top wasn't necessarily easy to run either. Bottom and 3 and 4 had a little bit more moisture, so guys were making a ton of time, but overall, I made a majority of my passes on the bottom. Guys would miss it, they'd slide through the middle, they'd kind of get stood up. In my car, you know, Drew, Nate, Carly, they really had the 21 dialed, like whether I was on the throttle, whether I was off the gas, like I could really put it, you know, even with the flat tires, like I could put it in good spots and make great speed. In the spot I'm in, you know, I'm working on those little gains, you know, goes to qualifying, goes to the heat race, goes to the feature, like little gains, because everyone's so close at this level. And that might have been the difference with even everything we had to overcome. Could have ran in the top 10. Like I said, some of that was just, you know, charging into 1 and 2 a couple times. 3 and 4, I think sometimes I didn't carry enough wing speed. I really could have ripped around, but overall, my car was great. We battled adversity, and I think there's a lot of times in the past, maybe going to the back with a flat, you know, maybe would have ended our race, and then you get lapped or you're stuck back there. But for us to rally, you know, 10 spots back almost to a top 10 finish, consider that a really good night. So really proud of Tarlton Motorsports and just thankful for the opportunity from Tom, Martha, Tommy, Melissa, little Tommy, the entire family, man. It's really cool to have great people around me and all of our partners, and glad that we got a good run with High Limit. Like I said, considering everything, a little disappointed we didn't end up in the top 10, you know, missing it by 1 spot. It would have been nice to have that just on our stats to kind of, you know, this early in the year, but I'm sure we're going to have lots more opportunities coming up. So Las Vegas Dirt Track, I had a lot of fun. Wish we could have got more racing in this weekend, but still overall not a bad night, you know, and a lot of chaos, and we overcame it with the 21. So we'll see you guys all in the next one. We're going to continue our week. We still got plenty of shows with High Limit, and thanks man, 2025 is really just heating up.